up in Pasadena. Nobody asked where we from. Cold-blooded conversation. ADD told me to run. Why he got too many coats? Cali got too many sons. Home of the famous.
Manifesting to be sitting here, present, confident, seeing it, executing it. What the hell?
What was the reason? What was the reason?
So I think I'm gonna add to this position my stops to break even. Boom, boom, and boom. Day, come on, 1K. 690 with micros, and I'm gonna close that. Hose is mad, chat. Chat, hose is mad, chat.
Hose mad. Hose mad.
All right, chat, close your eyes and sell. Here we go. Just don't even look at it, chat. Why would you put a stop loss on it? Are you crazy? Why would you use a stop loss? It can't get no better than this, chat. Oh my God, she's up $5,300. We're gonna close that trade. 5 grand live on stream. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, chat? Good morning, everybody. Would love for you to say good morning to me because you know I did take time out of my day to come up here to help you out. So it would be nice if we get some people to say hello and good morning in the chat. Today we are going to be doing a risk strategy review. So I am going to give you 3 examples. The third example is going to get more complex. Of course, we're going to go up in levels. And after that, we can do some mentoring. I'll put a form up at the end if you guys want to fill out that mentor sheet. And I can answer you guys' questions. Sound good? Sound good? Sound good? Hey, I see Kamario in the chat. I see you. Good morning to you, Kamario. Appreciate you. So this is a trial run. I want to see how you guys engage with me. I want to see who shows up, who talks in the chat, who's here, whether I do free strategies or not. That will be determined by the stream, of course. So I'm going to be paying attention to who's engaging, who's not engaging, and that is going to determine whether I want to do these streams or not on Saturdays with you guys. So just a heads up. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today. You're going to learn a lot. And yeah, let's hop into it. All right. Let me switch my screen over for you. Hey, here we are. Hi, Johnny. Good morning. The Ed Pan, what's up? Good morning. Hi, Jackson. Unique. Beer TV, what's up? What's up? All right, I'm going to put a little light music on in the background so that it's not too quiet. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Nasdaq. I'm going to choose 3 examples from this week. We are going to go down to, let's see, the 5-minute, 3-minute. Let's go down to 3 minutes so we can get some simple trades in. Let's go to Monday. We're going to go random with it. But we're going to make it this week so that it's a recent. Go Monday, and I'm just gonna go back in time. Alrighty. Honestly, I forgot what happened Monday, but here we are here. We got the 9:30 opening. Good morning, everybody. See everybody. Let me know if the music's too loud. Alrighty, so right here we have the 9:30 opening candle, and if you know me, you know that I do not enter the first minute or so. I like to let that candle settle in for a couple of minutes, usually about 10 minutes, because you know it gets really volatile. So I'm gonna let the first couple minutes play out. This candle here is 9:36. I said about 10 minutes, so let's give it about 10 minutes. Okay, cool. So it's like 9:42. So it's been about 12 minutes into the opening candle. Now, how do I go about trading this? Well, let's start off with this. We're already up a good 35 points. Nasdaq's got a lot of volume going. We're pumping to the top side. So the first thing I'm going to look at is, where is price going, right? That's my question I need to answer. Where is it going? Well, if I look to my left, I do see these highs, and I'm not going to highlight them perfectly. But I'm looking at these highs, right? We have these highs over here. So that's probably where price is going. We're going to those highs. So if I were to measure this out, we're only about 9, 10, about 10 points away, 15 points away, you know? So that's not enough for me to take a trade. So this is where I would say, okay, I'm not going to take a buy. Let me just relax. Let me let it finish its move and let me wait. All right. And what I'll do is I'm going to delete this zone, and instead I'm going to use a line to tag out those highs. I'm going to use the magnet tool there. Sorry guys, you couldn't see. I zoomed out. My bad guys. These highs right here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Hold on, the magnet tool. Okay, these highs over here. Everybody see? These highs I'm talking about. My fault, everybody. Yeah, we're looking at these highs. I'll just keep it there. So yeah, let's let it play out. It's too close for me to enter or buy, so I'll just wait. But I am looking for price to possibly take out those highs. Why? Because that's how the market works, right? We take out liquidity, take out highs. And there we go, right? We just took out these highs. And for those who are new to trading, what do I mean by that? I mean, we just closed above these highs, right? We went above this price line. So again, I may zoom out and look more to the left. We do have a little high over here. So what I'm gonna do is tag it out. If I can get the magnet, there we go. Let's just make this white line nice and simple to see, right? Okay. Fast forward. Boom. Okay, let me go back a little bit because I would want to enter that. All right, let's zoom in a little bit here. Now we're going into 10 o'clock, right? We got up past these highs, and now we're kind of coming out of it. So this would be something where I possibly would want to enter. Let's see, this candle is 10:03. So we did see that next candle there, right? So this is a pretty solid closure here. What I would look is a break of this low to enter. Okay, so let's say the next candle breaks this low. I'm going to enter here. Stop loss will be up here for about 23 points. And what am I going to target? I'm probably going to target these lows right here, right? These lows right down in here. So what I'll do is I'm just going to move a line down here. All right. And I'm actually going to start marking my chart because you're going to see some stuff come in. So we'll write that as target. We'll write this as entry. Cool. Everybody can see that, right? We're good. Target, entry, stop loss. Let's mark that because it will be moving around, and you'll see what I mean. So this is where we get into the risk strategies. So we want to trade with micros. We want to keep our risk nice and small. How many points are we risking? Well, this tells you, it says 23. So we can round that up to 24. So let's get a calculator. Today, let's say we'll keep our risk at, what we want to do, chat? $200? $200 risk. We'll do that for every trade. Sounds good? 200? Let me get a yes in the chat. We're good. Let me get a yes in the chat. So if this is about 24 point risk, we'll just do 200 divided by 24. About $8 a point, right? So $8 a point on micros is 4 contracts. So we're going to enter with 4 contracts. So I'm going to type it here. 4 contracts. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, everybody's cool with that? Awesome. Okay, let's get the calculator back because I'm going to get you the exact price point. 24 times 8. So we are risking 192. All right, I want you guys to keep track of that because that's going to change. Whoops. My keyboard is really far from me, guys. I know you can't tell on camera, but it's there. Okay, so we're risking 192. Nice small risk. Going in with 4 micros. Targets down here for 35 points. Let's do that. 35 times 8. Right now we're targeting for $280. So I want you to keep that in mind. We're going to turn this $280 trade. We're possibly going to 2 exit or 3 exit, which means almost 1,000. I'm going to show you how I do that. Check this out. This is where you want to take your notes. Okay. So when I first enter a trade, I'm not thinking about adding to it just yet until I see something I like. So let's go to the next candle. We want to see it move in our direction, right? Okay, here we go. Next candle, we're coming down. We're in profit. There we go. We're in sales. We're doing good. Up about 12 points, not much. But we like what we see, right? Good morning, Jess. Hi, Jess. We like what we see. Okay. Am I going to add here? Give me a yes or no in the chat. Am I going to add here? What do you think? All right, let's do this. 1 in the chat if you think I'm going to add. 2 in the chat if you don't think I'm going to add yet. 1 if you think I'm going to add. 2 if you don't think I'm going to add. And we'll see what you guys are at. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's see. 1 or 2s. Okay, and seeing some 2s. Seeing some 1s. Good thinking, everybody. Good thinking, good thinking, good thinking. So yeah, the answer is 2. I'm not going to add yet. This is where people like to add, right? This is where most traders get excited. Oh my God, I'm in the green. It's going my way. We're doing good. Let me add. Not yet, right? The key to adding is when I add to this position, what's going to happen to my risk? I'm going to be risking a lot more money, right? So my strategy when I add is I need to be able to say that I can move my risk a little bit lower. And right now, I don't have a reason to move that risk down lower just yet. So for that simple fact, I'm not going to add yet. So we're going to go to the next candle. Aha, 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 aha. So this I like, right? What do I like about this candle? I'm going to put an arrow on it. What do I like about that candle? I like that top wick. I love that top wick, right? Because that top wick is rejecting my entry, right? And we're pushing away. We're coming down. We're breaking this low. And we're continuing in my direction. This type of candle is where I would want to add. Now, of course, I like confluences. So let's go ahead and turn on that moving average for this example. It's rejecting my moving average. Okay. Now I'm going to make it a little bigger because I think it's hard for you guys to see. Better. Let me get a 3 in the chat. That's better. Now that we're rejecting the moving average, we come down and break this low. This is where I would want to add. Okay. Now, what I would do here, I'd probably just double my risk. So I'd probably go in for another 4 contracts because once we have this top wick, I know that I'm moving my stop loss basically on top of this top wick. So it's going to be not too much of a risk. So I would add, in this example, I would add 4 more contracts. Only because the risk is going to be small. So now we have a total of 8 contracts, right, everybody? Everybody's on track? 8 contracts are in. Now what happens here though? In futures, when you add to your position, it takes the average of both your entries. So I'm going to make this box here. So entry number 1 is this orange line. Entry number 2 is the green line. It takes the average, which would be the middle, is right here. So we're going to move this down, and it makes this your new entry price. So our new entry price is not 29971. Our new entry price is actually 65 instead of 71, right? And our stop loss, we're going to drag it down right above this candle, just slightly above this wick. Sounds good? So now we're in 8 contracts from this price. So our stop loss is here. We're risking 8 points. So let's calculate our new risk. Let's get the calculator. Everybody sticking with me? Everybody with me? Let me get a 5 in the chat if you're still with me. I didn't lose anybody, right? So again, our new risk is 8 points and we're in with 8 contracts. How much is 8 micros on Nasdaq? That's $16. So we're risking $128 now. So I'm going to type that so you guys know. So we went from risking 192 to 128. We're risking $128. Nice cheap, look, nice cheap trade, right? Cheap, low risk. You can scale up in a good higher position, low risk. We're going our direction. Okay, let's play out the next candle. And we're targeting 29 points now because our average risk moved. Okay, so check this out. Here, when we get this bullish candle closure, something you can do here is you could close out half of your trade or whatever you want to do. If you feel like you still want to hold it, then hold it. You know, that's the cool part about micros. In this particular trade, because my risk is literally $128, it's very cheap, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it. Now, if my risk was like 300, 400, 500, I may close out some contracts for profit. Does that make sense, everybody? Let me get a 6 in the chat if that makes sense. This particular trade, we're going to hold though, because the risk is so low. So beautiful here. Now, let's move this arrow down. Look at this rejection. We're rejecting our second entry and continuing to push lower. That's something that I like. So in that instance, I'd move my stop loss down to break even. Now we're risking 0. And we're currently up 16 times 16. Is that 256? Don't get me on the math, guys. It's a little early in the morning here. 16 times 16. We're currently up $256. Stop loss is at break even. We have 0 risk. We're very close to target. We're going to hold this. Okay, doing good so far. Okay. And even, let me go back a little bit. Even right here, if you get a little nervous, you can trail your stop loss maybe to these high. You know what I mean? You can trail it if you want, but we said we're going to hold it, so we're going to hold it. And okay. Voila. Trade is complete. We reached the target. We actually got a little further than target. So remember, we're in $16 a point times 35. So let's finish out this trade. So $16 a point times 35 points. So we made $560 on this trade, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. With micros. And that's just one trade. So, right? Hit target for 560. Now, what was this originally? Right? What was this originally? Originally, you entered up here with 4 contracts going for 35 points, which was how much money? $8. So originally you were going for a $280 trade, but instead you made $560. And you did that while minimizing your risk, only risking $100 and something, eventually risking $0. And then you got there. What's up, Marco? Hi, Elijah. Hello, hello. Bridget, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. We like that one. We like that one. Can we get that like button going? Let me know what you think about this in the chat. Did this kind of blow your mind a little bit on, wow, I can keep my risk low and still get those $500 trades. Now really think about that. 2 $500 trades, 1K day. Think about it. With micros. And you're not doing big risk. You're just risking $100, $200, you know? Make it simple. Thank you, everybody. Okay, that's example number 1. We're gonna go into example number 2. Example number 2 is gonna be a little more realistic. Not that this isn't realistic. This was from Monday, but the risk was really low, right? The risk was 20 points. I mean, y'all seen the market lately. How often are we getting 20-point risk unless it's Asian session, right? So example number 2, we'll find something with a little bit more risk. Let's go into it. All right. I'm gonna go on the 5-minute. Let's see. I'm gonna pause it where I feel. Maybe Tuesday. Or Tuesday. Maybe I'll show you the trade I took Tuesday. That may work a little better. Okay, we're getting close. We're getting close. Maybe we'll do towards the end of the day. We'll switch it up because this is 9:30, 10 o'clock. Yeah, we could do those sells again, but it's going to be a similar example, right? So let's go towards the end of the day. See if we can do buys or something. Okay. Uh-oh. We might have something. We may have something, everybody. Maybe 3 o'clock. Okay, this is 3 o'clock. All right, let's go down to the 3-minute time frame here. Okay. So let's zoom out here. So this is towards the end of the day, right? It's about 3 o'clock. Let's do this. So what I'm kind of seeing is Nasdaq for 9:30, right? We came up, boom, boom, boom. We took out the ultimate highs, made a high for the day, traveled all the way down. Again, we could have easily did those sells, but I want to give you guys a different example. And now we're kind of slow crawling up, right? We're slowly crawling up, and it looks like a bullish breakout, right? Simple stuff, pendant. That's literally what it looks like to me. That's what I see. We're coming down and testing out the high of this range. So if we continue bouncing up, what I would look for is obviously these highs, right? I would look for these highs over here. So I'm just gonna highlight that. Again, I'm not highlighting it in a special way. But let's go ahead and zoom in here. If we maintain this structure, and I like it. All right. And I like a little bit of a reversal pattern here, a little bit of a liquidity grab. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, look at that engulfing candle. So I like this. I like this. Very common reversal pattern when we have those two dojis and then a big engulfing. I like this for a breakout. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna enter here. Let's not get a loss, chat. Let's not get a loss. Okay. So here I would enter right under the reversal. Put my stop loss right under this reversal pattern. So about 40 points. That's more realistic because the market has been doing a whole lot of lately, right? Risk has been a little bigger. Let me get this arrow out the way. All right. Everybody cool with this entry? Let me get a 1 in the chat if you think we're gonna win. Let me get a 2 in the chat if you think it's gonna be a loss. Okay. Well, we'll have fun with this. All right, yeah, I'm thinking this is a really nice little breakout. Nothing too crazy. Going for about 55 to 72 points. Anywhere between 50 and 70 points. Pretty good range here. All right. Let me see. 1s or 2s. What time is this set up? Yeah, I'm just choosing random time. This is 3 p.m. 3 p.m. New York time. So towards the end of market close. Got about an hour before market closes, right? So you got about an hour to be in this trade, right? Plenty of time. Okay, here we go. How does it not say replay? It does say it's right here. I'm in replay mode. This is from Tuesday. Okay. I'll answer. I'll answer your questions in a second. Dina, code is with Tradingviews. Yeah, I did talk about that. I'll talk about that after. All right, here we go. Enter. Boom. Wow, a little small candle. Uh-oh. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, so far we enter this breakout, you know, big volume candle, and then what happened to the volume? Going a little flat here. Okay, we'll be patient. Okay, there we go. We're starting to move in our direction here. Am I going to add here? No, I'm not going to add here, right? I'm not going to add here. It's not really giving me an area where I think I want to move my stop loss down just yet. So I would pretty much wait. Oh, chat, we didn't do our risk. I'm sorry. Okay, 40 points. We said we're keeping our risk 200 or less, right? So maybe 2 contracts on this one. That'll be $4 times, I'm sorry, 42 points. 168. So what if we did 6 times? That'll be over 200, right? Okay, 2 contracts. Sorry, guys. 2 contracts. And we're risking 168. Right? All right. Move this up a little bit. You guys can see that, right? Yeah, you guys can see that. Okay, 168. All right. Keep it going. Okay, I like this bottom wick. That bottom wick, I like it rejecting the entry. Keep it going. Okay, it looks like we're kind of chopping around here. Okay. Alrighty. All right. So volume slowed up a little bit, and then we started pushing above this little tiny range we just made. That I like. This is where I may contemplate adding a position if we break this high. But do I have a place where I would want to move my stop loss? Doesn't feel like it just yet. Okay, there we go. So somewhere in this candle, right when we break this high, is where I would want to add. Because we're really continuing, right? Oop, not entry, add. We're going to add here. Now we went in with 2 contracts, so we'll just double it. We'll go in with another 2. So total risk is 4. Now here, by the time we're blowing past these highs, I would move my stop loss right below these lows, right? Right where we kind of did this little dip, right? I kind of see this as a low. So, actually, I'd move it to break even. Oh, no, because our average risk is going to change. But yeah, so I'll move it here for about 6 points. Okay, now remember, when you enter a trade, your average price changes. Everybody sticking with me? Everybody with me? So let's go ahead and average that out. So first entry was here, we added here. So our average price is going to change to right here in the middle of this. That's going to be our new average price. Again, we move our stop loss down here, right below these lows. So our stop loss is 18 points. So instead of risking 168, like we said, our stop loss is now 18 points. We're in with 4 contracts. 4 contracts is $8 a point. So we're going to times that by 8. We're risking 144 bucks. So we're risking a little bit less, right? 168 to 144. And we're in at $8 a point. Beautiful. All right, let's keep going. This looks good. Looks good. All right, and we tapped it right there. So keep in mind, we were above this for a little bit, so I'd probably, y'all know how I do, I would just trail it right at the TP. Let's say we close it out for 42 points. So $8 a point times 42, $336 on this trade. Not bad for some micros, right? Instead of what was the original we were doing. Originally, we were in with 2 contracts going for 55 points. Right? Originally, we were going for 220. So instead of $220, we make 336. So essentially, I gave you this example because I wanted to get something where the volatility wasn't too high in the morning. something maybe a little bit more realistic when the volatility slows down, and then you have kind of like a bigger stop loss, you can still capitalize on smaller trades, right? Yeah, this one was almost a 2x. The other one was better, but yeah, not too bad. All right, let's find something a little bit more complex where I'm gonna try to look for something where we enter. Maybe we take partials because maybe it's starting to retrace, and then we see it going our way again. Maybe we re-add again, and voila. All right, we're gonna find something like that. What's this day? This day is Tuesday. I'll pause for questions. Any questions? Hello, everybody. Or actually, I might as well just keep going. We'll do one more example, and then I can answer every question you guys have. So if I missed your question, last example, this example should take us, what, 5 minutes? 5 minutes or less, then I can answer you guys' questions. Cool. Okay, this was Friday. This one I'm gonna actually look for an example because I want us to be able to add. Oh, this is a good one. Thursday is a really good one. I actually took this these by. Okay, we'll do Thursday. This will be a good example of adding, taking partials, getting back in, stuff like that. All right. I like this one. Turn off the moving average there. Okay. So everyone can kind of see this. It kind of looks like a bullish pendant, right? But we know that bullish pendants are continuation trends, right? Continuations. But besides that, let's just look to the left on where this can go. Of course, we have some highs over here. Nothing crazy. I'm literally just gonna highlight this and drag it over. All right. All right, we got a nice closure here. Okay. So the reason why I wouldn't enter at the break of this high is because this high was here. So I like a little test. Go ahead and break that high. I'm gonna wait because we have a high over here. And then if it swoops back up, now I'll happily get back in. Okay, there we go. See it swoops back up, right? So we test this high, come down, we swoop back up. That looks good. If the next candle breaks this high, well, I'd like to be in that, and big stop loss here, right? Probably use these lows. Bigger stop loss, bigger target this time. Why? Well, that's how the market's been. So 75 point stop loss, everybody. So this is going to be a great example, a little bit more realistic to how the volume's been behaving, right? Back testing on TradingView. Okay. Stop loss will be here for 75 points. We're under these lows. I want you to think of these lows as like a dip, right? If we go down to the 1 minute, you can see it a little better. It's actually a good dip. Anyway, 75 point stop loss. We're going to go in with 1 micro. We're going to enter if it breaks this high. I'm just putting this up first. There we go. 75 plus 75 is 150. So risking 150. We're going to start off this risk nice and small, and let's see where this trade can go. Going for 130. So we're going for 260 with 1 micro. Now that's annoying, right? You're like, dang, 100 points. I'm only getting 260, but we're going to talk about scaling this, right? How can we make this become a bigger trade than 260, right? How can we do that? Well, let's figure it out. All right, here we go. Uh-oh, broke the high. We're in the trade. Uh-oh. All right, let's not get a loss. Okay. We're teeter-tottering here. Big push. I like that push. Now, very tempting to add here. So I'm going to have you guys vote. What do you guys think I'm going to do? Do you think I'm going to add, or do you think I'm going to wait? So add in the chat if you think I'm going to add. Wait in the chat if you think I'm going to wait. Let's see who learned something today. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? We will hit target. Wait, right? So you guys are right. I'm going to wait. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait because although this looks really juicy, it looks really good, right? Nice little bullish breakout here. When I add to trades, I need a reason to move my stop loss a little bit in so that I'm still keeping a lower risk, right? So right now, I don't feel confident moving my stop loss closer because if we just now broke out, we may retest. And lately, the market's been, as you guys have seen, a little bit extra sometimes. And we may not just get this type of retest. We may get this type of retest, right? So I want to keep this stop loss here for now. So that is why I'm not going to add just yet. I either would like it to dip and dip, or even dip here, create like a higher support and go would be cool too. So one or two things is what I would like to see. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh. All right, we're still going. Okay, here we go. Are we dipping? Are we pulling back, or are we creating a higher support? Ooh, okay. Now this candle sticks out to me because of the bottom wick, right? A little bit of a liquidity grab going on here. That I like. Now, if the next candle breaks these highs for continuation, I'll most likely add, and I'll move my stop loss probably like right here. Would love to move it here, but we'll see. It depends where my average, because remember, when you enter, your average entry moves. So it depends where that goes. So let's see if we can break these highs. If not, it's okay. I'll just hold. Wow, what was that? What kind of candle? Okay, there we go. We broke those highs. Honestly, I said if we broke the highs, I would add. So unfortunately, the candle did close like that, but we did break those highs, so I would have added here. Risk is big, right? 75 points. So we're not doing big adds here. We're just adding one more micro. So we're in 2 micros deep. Okay. Now let's talk about this. We got to fix this up a little bit, right? Because first entry was at the orange. Second entry was at the green. Now our average price, entry price, is going to change towards the middle of it, right? It takes the range of the 2 prices you added in. So it's going to bump our entry here. Okay. So am I going to keep my stop loss here for 106? I don't want to. I'm going to move my stop loss right here at these lows here. So how much am I risking now? Because now I'm in $4 a point. So right now I'm risking a little more than what I was already risking. Risking 52 bucks. What am I risking? About 104? I mean 104, 204? 208. All right, we're risking 208 now. Still not too bad. Because we're going for over 100 points. I mean, we're going for 400 and something dollars, so. All right. Beautiful. Now I'll be honest with you here. Sometimes I may add more here. At this point in time, I may add more here. But we'll just, for this example, we're going to keep it simple. I like this. I like this push. So this is where I would move one contract. I would move to at least break even. Okay. So we'll do that actually. So we'll keep one stop loss there. And we'll keep one at break even. Okay, so big volume came in, then we kind of went nowhere. Good pushes. Nice. Nice. Liking this. And something like this, I may trail it with one micro, and then we'll move the other micro at break even, right? So we're break even, risk-free trade. We're gonna trail it in case it retraces with one micro. I'm gonna delete the rest of these. So instead of stop loss, we'll put trailing one micro. And we're at break even with one micro. All right, so you'll notice throughout the trade, I'm managing risk, right? I'm managing risk, break even, right? Like I said, this one's a little bit more complex, but I'm just showing you how I'd manage this. Keep in mind, you're up pretty good, right? This time you're up about 74 points. So you're doing pretty good. You're up almost 300 bucks. So it's looking good. Okay, right here, boom. Look at that. Trailing stop got hit. Okay. We're still in though. We still got one at break even, but we got hit at 56 points. We hit for profit. So we'll do 56 points times one micro. It'll be $2. So we made $112. So I'll put in those notes. We made 112 bucks. Now we're still trailing with one left on. Okay. I like this little dip. So honestly, this dip, sometimes I would think about adding, but just for this concept, we'll wait. Okay, I was gonna say, unless I see a liquidity wick. I like that liquidity wick. So if we push past these highs, I'll probably add again. And when I say high, I mean this high right here. Okay, we're still holding at break even. Look at this. I like that. So again, if we push past, so this is where I'd put like a little buy stop order. But if we can push right past these highs on the next candle, then we'll add again right here. Boom. Okay. So remember, we're trailing one micro at break even. We had already trailed this trade up and got stopped out for one micro for a little bit of profit. And now we're re-adding in with one micro. Everybody with me? So we're in with two micros. We got to take our average price again because it's going to change. Average price, it's going to be the middle. It's going to be right here. And in this instance, I would put both my contracts, all two of them that we're in now, at break even, right? So it's a risk-free setup. We add it again, and let's see if we can do some damage here. See if we can hit target. All right, we hit target. So, target was 68. 68 points. So we're out with two micros, 68 points. Let's calculate that. Two micros is $4 a point times 68. So we made 272 on that. Remember, we were already out for $112, so we're gonna add 112. So made 384 on this setup. 384, almost 400 bucks. But remember, it's with one micro. You know, you started off with one micro. The most you would have made here was what? If you just kept one the whole time, would be about 260. Well, under 260, maybe around Let me do it again. Yeah, 260 actually. So instead of 260, you made maybe about $100 more. But again, I want to give you a more realistic example of sizing with one of them. Obviously, if you go in with 2 micros all the time and then you always add 2, you'll make double than what I said. You'll make 600. But this example was just, okay, 1 micro, add 1 micro, trail it with 1 micro, add 1 more micro, right? It was just with 1. So 1 micro gets you 384. Again, if you wanted to do this with 2 micros, you would have ended up with double what you are seeing here. So it would have been 768 if you went in with 2 micros and then you added 2. Maybe you trailed it here, took 2 off for profit, left the rest at break even, and then here you added 2 more, right? You would have made 768, almost $1,000 bucks. If you did it with 3 micros, you would have been at 1,000. So like I said, I'm just showing you the simplicity of this, which is 1 micro. But yeah, so those are examples. You guys will be able to rewatch this. I'm going to take your questions now. I apologize. I know I missed a lot of questions. So please go ahead and type any questions that you have in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. This is micro Nasdaq. What asset is this micro Nasdaq? Is this on the 5-minute? I was on the 3-minute. Oh, you say you see it now. Yeah, I was on the 3-minute. Any other questions, guys? I know the chat was going while I was talking. Where'd you guys go? I can answer your questions now. I can answer them now. Let me see if I can go back and scroll through the chat. You can also use TradeZella for back testing, deep back testing. Yeah, so I stick to what works, right? So over 10 years ago, I started back testing on Tradingviews. So that's a long time ago. Probably about 13, 14 years ago now, I was back testing on TradingView. And that from me doing that and doing that all the time, that made me where I am now in trading, and that made me profitable. So I'm not gonna switch it up, you know what I mean? That's how I got to where I am. You know, my entire life has changed. So I don't feel the need to change softwares per se, because I know what I need, and I know what I need to look at to keep up with my strategy, and it's just the simples of just going back through the week, you know. What's the earliest you would enter at NY opening? Probably like 9:40. So at least like 10 minutes into it. At least 10 minutes. One question for 50K challenge, full port for a few days versus risking 200 to 300 per trade. Yeah, I mean, if you're full porting things, then you don't have a wealth mindset. You don't have a mindset of money, which would be why you're lacking money. So yeah, I mean, you're just setting yourself up for failure if you're full porting stuff, you know. So I mean, it's up to you guys. I mean, if you want to full port and have a mindset that lacks money, that's why you are stuck where you are. If you want to see progress in your life and you want to be able to make a good amount of money and provide for yourself, provide for your family, and change your life, be able to do what you want whenever you want, put your kids on, then it'll be time to obtain that mindset, you know. Do you still trade MGC at Asian session, or what time? Yeah, I haven't traded gold in a couple weeks. Going on next week, it may be about a month. Yeah, it's been about a month since I traded gold. I just haven't been seeing it set up as nicely as Nasdaq has for me, so I just haven't touched it. You know, it's moving quite a bit. Gold, I mean, those candles are, jeez. mean, some of these 1-minute candles are 100 points. Like, it's insane. So yeah, I mean, strategy wise, when it comes to risk, I'm not a fan of a 1-minute candle being 70 points or 100 points. Like, that's just ridiculous. But Nasdaq has just been setting up very nicely. I mean, Asian session time is going to depend on where you are, you know, but yeah, I mean, Asian sessions at the same time every night, you know. But I don't necessarily just go in and trade Asian session just to trade it. I'll trade it if I feel like trading it. You know, I don't trade because I need to trade. I trade because I like trading and I enjoy trading. It's not a need. I don't need to trade, if that makes sense. When you trade, are you also monitoring ESYM? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, no. If I'm trading Nasdaq, then I'm looking at Nasdaq and only Nasdaq, right? I don't need to have distractions. I don't care what ES is doing. ES doesn't make me money. I don't care what YM is doing. YM's not making me money. I care about what Nasdaq is doing. I care about how the market structure is on Nasdaq, the liquidity wicks, the highs, the lows. That determines when I get into a trade and when I get out of a trade, you know. No other factors matter. If you're bouncing all around to different pairs, that's what's kind of slowing you down from your progress. It's better to master one pair, and then if you want to expand to other pairs, then yeah, go ahead, expand to other pairs. But simply mastering one pair is really what's gonna do the job for you. Like I said, after that, feel free to expand to other pairs if you want. But you really need to master one pair, you know? You know what I mean? Just like anything else, guys, a soccer player, or you could say football player, a football player isn't kicking around a basketball just to experiment, right? They're focused on that soccer ball, right? They're focused. You want to be focused, and consistency is repeating the same thing over and over again, right? So if we're not repeating the same system that we're testing out, then what are we doing, right? So this weekend, I encourage you all to do some homework, test out your system, a system. Even if you don't have a system, just come up here and look at the times that you trade. If you trade New York session, then only look at New York session. If you only trade London session, only look at London session, right? Don't waste your time with the other sessions. Just come up here, look at the times that you trade, look at moves, say like this, for example. Place your marker up here and do some research, look around different time frames and see, okay, how can I get into this, right? That's for someone who has nowhere to start. But if you have a system that you're trying out, seeing if it works, then yeah, get up here, practice, and learn that system, right? Just like anything else. I mean, you can't expect to shoot a basketball from the 3-point line your first time and be making those shots back to back, right? No, it takes practice. It takes millions of those shots, right? Professionals in any field rinse and repeat. That's why they practice. So if you're not putting in the time to practice, then you're not going to see the results. That's just the reality of it. You know, it's literally like anything else. If you spend enough time practicing consistent trading, you will be consistent. You literally will. But if you're going from strategy to strategy to strategy, pair to pair to pair, and you keep mixing all the variables around, then yeah, you're not going to have progress, right? Your progress is going to be all over the place. You know, scientifically, when we test things, you can't hear me. Well, chat, can you guys hear me? Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. Yes, okay, thank you. So scientifically, when they test stuff for us to eat, right, they do a bunch of tests, right? They don't test it one time and then keep switching out the variables. right? So when you're testing to see if something is working, you need to keep testing it and testing it and testing it. So that's what consistency is, guys. All right, so if you guys are new, be sure to subscribe and like the video. I will be live with you guys when the market opens Monday morning. I've been live trading on here for, well, we're almost going on 6 years now. We're about to hit the 6-year mark, but a long time. I've been up here on YouTube live trading. For those who are new, we were live trading on live accounts before the prop firms up here. So yeah, we've been here for a long time, long time. Do you have a trade limit per day or max loss? Yeah, I have a max loss, not a trade limit, because with micros, let's say you enter with one contract and then maybe you enter 3 more times, that's going to count as 3 trades instead of 1, even though it was the same setup. So yeah, I don't have a limit. I just have like a max loss limit money wise. I'm like, okay, if I lose this much money today, I'm done. Good afternoon. Hi, Sam. Welcome back. Yeah, I mean, the hardest thing is to walk away, right? You may think it's hard as a beginner or as an intermediate, but imagine when you have a system that has made you X amount of money and has changed your life, and you know the system works. Now try walking away. So you think you faced hardships in psychology and trading, but wait till you have something that works, and then you have to choose to walk away. That can be very tough, right? Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. Yeah, everybody, I am live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Thank you for subscribing again. DMCS is smoother equity curves into can reduce. Yeah, you guys trade what you guys trade, you know, trade what you trade. I trade Nasdaq, you guys trade what you trade. It doesn't matter what other people trade, you trade what works for you. That's really how it goes, you know? Literally, guys, whatever works for you. Trading is a performance-based skill, so it's going to be based on how you perform, right? You may perform really well on gold, and someone else, they don't do well on gold. Maybe gold's your thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, you know, see what pair works better for you, you know? Every time I say I walk away, I try to get back and lose more and feel like crap. Why can't I stop? Yeah, it's a discipline thing, right? And you know, we're all human. We're all human. So you know, when we go on tilt, we never talk out loud. Do you notice that? When we go on tilt, we get silent, right? We get silent. We're entering, closing, adding. Or you know it, you're sitting there for a couple hours, you're still trading. When you said you were going to walk away, we go silent. And the thing is, you got to talk out loud. You have to say out loud, I'm choosing to delay my journey. Because we say it to ourselves. We know I shouldn't be in this trade, right? But we don't say it out loud. So verbally out loud, say it so that you can hear it. Because that forces your brain into back into awareness, right? Because we start to lose awareness when we go on tilt. So say out loud, I'm choosing to delay my journey. I guarantee you'll pause, right? You're to go. I learned a lot from you. Thank you, JM. I appreciate you. So yeah, say it out loud, and then also make sure we are practicing discipline in real life. When we are disciplined in real life, it will reflect on the charts, right? So find some things this weekend to do that you can do maybe every weekend. Maybe it's a walk in the park every weekend. Maybe it's working out a certain amount of days a week, 3-4 days a week. Maybe it's going to the gym. Again, you don't have to pay for a gym membership, guys. You can work out in your house. You can work out outside. You know, there's so many things you can do. You know, but pick something and say, I'm going to do this, and then stick to it. That's discipline and consistency, right? So if you're being disciplined and you're showing consistency in your life outside of trading, do that on the charts too, because the thing is to get to where you want to be in life, you have to pretend that you're already there, right? If you had $1 million in your account right now, in your debit account right now, what would you be doing? How would you feel? You wouldn't feel like on edge, oh my God, I have to trade. You would feel relaxed. You'd feel a little bit more calmer. The edge would be off, right? So you want to embody that now so it can catch up to you. That reality can catch up to you, right? Because you can project anything you want to be. You can be whatever you want, you know? Um, people who are wealthy have mastered this. They've mastered it. It's, and that's just what you want to do and embody that energy, right? Make sure we smile every day. That's why I always tell you guys to smile. Smile. You're worthy. You're amazing, right? You deserve the best. You deserve the absolute best. And you have to truly think like that, because a lot of times, especially in trading, man, do we talk ourselves down, right? I have people in my chat, sometimes they go, oh, I know I shouldn't have took that trade. I'm stupid. Or, oh, I took a dumb trade. And when we say these things, yeah, we're being real with ourselves in a sense, but we're also talking down on ourselves, right? So we want to make sure when we talk about ourselves that we are uplifting ourselves. You know what I mean, chat? Let me get a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Let me get a 1 in the chat. Always, always uplift ourselves. Positivity, it's like a magnet for money. Gratitude is an even bigger magnet for money. Being grateful for what you currently have. You always have to find that one thing where you're like, okay, I'm grateful I have this, grateful I have food, grateful I got water, grateful I woke up this morning, grateful I have a computer I could trade on, right? Grateful I got a phone. Some people ain't got a phone, just simple things. But if you have any pets, grateful for your dogs, grateful for your family. Simple things like gratitude go a really long way. Like I said, to attract money, you have to match the frequency of money. And the frequency of money is not being on tilt. It's not hurry up and rushing and trying to finish something. That's not. It's calm. It's relaxed. It's positive. It's being grateful, right? Being there in the moment. It's that feeling you get when you're on vacation, right? You ever notice on vacation, maybe you do it or maybe a family member does it, people who don't usually wake up early, they get up early. A lot of people, they go on vacation, they're up and ready to go. You know why? Because they're excited, right? They're excited. They have that happy feeling. They go back home, time to go to work, kind of dragging in the morning, right? Not getting up all excited, right? It's the same old, right? So they say we must act as if we have something to look forward to every day. When you were a kid and it was the first day of school, you couldn't sleep at night because you were anticipating it. You must have that anticipation, right? We have to grasp on these feelings to get what we want. So like I said, I encourage you guys to walk around like you got $1 million in your pocket, and treat people like you have $1 million in your pocket. Smile, be nice, don't give nobody a reaction because they're not worth it. And keep doing you, right? Keep doing you. Spread positivity. Keep doing you, and I guarantee you, you will see it reflect in your life. Anytime you get a negative thought, you can cancel it out with 2 positive thoughts. You say something negative, say 2 things positive right after it. Cancel it right out. That's how you do it. You can keep it pushing. All right, guys, let me ask you this. If I were to, let's say, go on a hike and I go live on YouTube outside on the hike, would you guys come to the stream? Let me know in the chat. Is that something you guys be interested in? Hiking streams? Let me know in the chat. Just give me like a yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Let's see.
Wake up in Pasadena. Nobody asked where we from. Cold-blooded conversation. ADD told me to
Yes, love hikes. Yeah.
too many coats. Cali got too many sons. Home with the famous and broken and
You
lonely.
guys gonna make sure I don't die out there? We're gonna get lost. No maps. We just free fall it. Yes. Okay, cool. We'll have to experiment that maybe next week. Maybe next week I'll take you guys with me. I'll go live. Take your dog. Oh, I have two dogs. That would be a lot if I took both of them because I gotta hold the camera and be paying attention to where I'm going and my surroundings, and then have two hands on the dogs. That'd probably be a lot. We'll see. But yeah, I think it would be cool. I think it'd be cool. You guys make sure I don't die out there. It'll be fun. We'll do like a motivation talk or whatever while we're out there. I'll show you guys the views. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be some nice views. It'll be some nice views. Okay, cool. So we'll rain check that for next weekend. Hey, more subscribers. I appreciate y'all so much. Holy. By the way, we got so many subscribers last week. I didn't even get a chance to thank everybody. So thank you so much. It's been a while since we started growing again. We just started growing again, and we're about to hit 75,000 subs, everybody. Yes. 75K. This is the closest we've been to 75K. So to me, I mean, that's a pretty big milestone. What do you guys think? I think it's a big milestone. Let me see where we are now. Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're close. Guys, we're at 74,426. Holy. Wow. Less than 600 people to go. Oh my goodness. That is so crazy, chat. Less than 600 people. We got like 100 new subs last week. No, maybe we'll hit that in a couple weeks. Holy. Road to 100K. I told you, I promised you, we get to 100K, I'm dropping merch. We get to 100K, I'm dropping merch. That'll be something, huh? Definitely will drop merch. Maybe I'll drop merch before that. Who knows? But I feel like 100K is a good milestone to drop some merch. You sub today? Thank you, music people. I appreciate you. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, so remember everybody, trading is a kind of a solo journey, right? It's not something where you can say, oh, okay, this person does that, so I'm gonna do that. You really gotta gain your own style by just trying different things, and see what works for you. It may be slightly different for everybody, and that's just how trading tends to be. Thank you for subscribing. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Also, Tradify, before I leave, you got 2 days left for this last sale. And the sale I'm talking about is if you buy a bundle of 5 accounts, you get an additional 30% off with my code. So yes, they're already 40% off, but you'll get an additional 30% off if you use code LENS, if you buy the bundle of 5. And they have the cool feature now where you don't have to buy it 5 times in a row. You just click bundle of 5 and it'll give you those 5 one-time purchase. So I think that's awesome. I did see a few of you buy some of those up yesterday. A few of you guys hopped on to the 25Ks for $300. That's pretty much a steal. Because you got to think about it. $300 for 5 accounts. Make 1,000 from each of those. That's $5,000 back. I mean, 300 to get $5,000. It's a pretty damn good investment. You know what I mean? So something to think about. Even if you can't afford the 300 right now, they do have accounts for $59. If you go with the growth account, $59, everybody. So I always encourage you guys, you don't have to start with the 150Ks or the 100Ks or the 50Ks. You need to start with the 25K because it's more budget friendly. You can't go wrong with $59. I mean, you can make 1,000, 2,000 from that, even 3,000. And then you can use that money and buy yourself the bigger accounts. You know what I mean? So remember, when it comes to money, you want to invest as less as possible to make the highest return back, right? That's how you do it. Yeah, go ahead and check that out. What I will do is I will give you guys the link to make it a little easier. And yeah, any other last minute questions? Any last minute questions before I go, everybody? I do want to thank you guys for spending your Saturday with me. I did put that link in the chat for you. I really appreciate that. If you guys enjoyed these educational videos, maybe we can do some more on Saturdays. This was fun. Maybe we'll try the hike stream next week. I have no idea how that's gonna be. Because I'll have to stream from my phone. So that'll be a first time. So yeah, just work with me. We'll see how it goes. SDMW, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? No last questions. We're good to go. Looks like we're good to go. All right. All right, everybody. I will have the mentorship form on Monday's stream. So those of you who want to get mentored by me for free, you can fill out the form, right? On Monday. It was fun. I did answer quite a few of you guys 2 streams ago. So anybody who has a question, you can screenshot a trade you took if you want me to review it and ask me, hey, where's the better entry here? Where's the better stop loss? I can do that for you. You just have general advice you need, whatever you need. I'll have this link ready to go for you Monday. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to smile. Don't forget to remember that you are worthy. You are amazing. And I'll see you guys Monday morning. Thank you so much. Manifesting to be sitting here, present, confident, seeing it, executing it. What the hell?
What was the reason? What was the reason?
So I think I'm going to add to this position my stops to break even. Boom. Boom. And boom. Day, come on, 1K. 690 with micros. And I'm gonna close that. Hose is mad, chat. Chat, hose is mad, chat.
Hose mad. Hose mad.
All right, chat, close your eyes and sell. Here we go. Just don't even look at it, chat. Why would you put a stop loss on it? Are you crazy? Why would you use a stop loss? It can't get no better than this, chat. Oh my God, she's up $5,300. We're gonna close that trade. $5,000 live on stream.